Hi, this is Dave from Heads Up Health, and in this video we're going to show you how you can track your blood ketone levels in your Heads Up profile. Tracking ketones is especially common if you are on the ketogenic diet, which can be incredibly effective for physical and mental performance, weight loss, general well-being, as well as managing a host of other chronic conditions. So to get started, you can visit our homepage at headsuphealth.com. If you're an existing user, sign in. If you're a new user, create your account. And as soon as you log in, you'll be presented with your dashboard. This is one of our test accounts, so there's already some information in the profile. And to get started with tracking ketones, the first step is to add them onto your dashboard. And so to add a card onto the dashboard, just click the plus icon and then select ketones from the drop-down. You can optionally set a daily goal that you want to work towards, change the color of the font, and then hit add, and you'll see ketones on the dashboard. There's already some ketones entered into this user's database. That's why there's numbers showing up here. For new users, this will be blank until you make your first entry. You can move this card wherever you want. Let's say I want to look at my ketones right next to my blood glucose, for example. Those are two metrics that are very often tracked together. So you can rearrange these in whichever way you choose. Once you've got it set up properly, the next step is to start adding your ketones. Again, using the Add Data button, select ketones from the drop-down. If it's a historical reading, you can just change the date and time fields. For a current reading, just go ahead and enter the values. So let's say that I'm at 1.8 as of this evening. The notes field is very helpful just to add additional context. It's helpful when you're looking at these data points on the graph, looking back at historical readings, and if you're sharing your Heads Up profile with your healthcare practitioner, the notes here are very helpful for them to understand the context around a specific reading. So I'll make some notes here, and let's say, for example, I had been intermittent fasting for 12 hours, and then as soon as I hit add, this number will update. So a few things about the dashboard card for ketones. First, you'll notice that you have the left and right arrows here, and you can toggle back and forth between all of the readings in your database. You can also click anywhere on the card and it will turn over to show you your last 5 readings across the top here, with the most recent being on the right. We'll also show you your average this month, your average last month, and your average year to date. So just from within the dashboard card, you can get a good sense on how your ketone values are tracking. Next is if you want to take a look at them on the graph. And the graph you can access through the analyzer, or you can just click the bar graph here. If you click the bar graph, we'll automatically graph ketones and graph them over the last 30 days. And you can see that I've only been tracking them since about January 16th. So let's change the date range on the graph to zoom in a little bit. So I'll set the date range to start on the 16th of this year, and it will zoom in. A couple things here. First, you'll notice that in this box down below, we're summarizing the average, max, and min from whichever date range you've selected up here. Second, you notice as you mouse over each data point, if you did enter notes when you entered the reading, you'll see them in the tooltip. So as you mouse over each data point, you'll see the actual value, the time and date stamp, and then any notes you made with that reading. Next is if you want to compare your ketones to other values. So again, a very common correlation is ketones and blood sugar, for example. So I can put my glucose on the map here. Again, down below we'll summarize the average, max, and min within this date range. And let's say, for example, I only want to look at my fasting readings. You can filter based on those criteria as well. And you can see here that as my ketones are going up, my glucose is going down. And you can compare ketones to any other metric you want. So for example, if I also wanted to compare my ketones to weight, for example, if I were using ketosis for weight loss, I would just select weight here, or body fat percentage, or other metrics from my lab values like hemoglobin A1C, or cholesterol, or inflammation. Any metric that's in your personal Heads Up account can be graphed along with ketones to see if the two are correlated. And so that's how you can compare different metrics on the graph. So let's just put glucose back on here. Another common question is, how can I share this data with a health practitioner? The easiest way to do that is just to take a screenshot. So on Mac, it's Command-Shift-3. On Windows, it's Alt-Print Screen. So I'll take a screenshot here. And with that screenshot, you can email it to whomever you choose. You can also use the Heads Up Health tools for sharing files, which are much more secure. So here's how you would do that. First is you would find that screenshot you've just made. So in Mac, it puts them on the desktop. So I'm going to rename that folder to Ketones, New, Data. You can call this file whatever you want. But when you go back to Heads Up Health, what you can then do is upload that file into your Heads Up account. Once it's uploaded, it will be stored in an encrypted format, so it's very secure. And I'm going to create a new folder where I want to store all of my screenshots. So I'm going to create a folder called Screenshots and save that. And then I'm going to upload that screenshot I just took into this new folder. So just find the screenshot, give it a name, optionally select a date, and then put it whatever folder you want. I'll put it in Screenshots and upload. So now it's stored in an encrypted format, so you have it again if you need to reference it. The other benefit to uploading the file this way is, rather than sending your sensitive medical data through email, you can use our tools to send an encrypted message with this file. So you'll notice as you mouse over the file, you'll see the share button. And if I click share, I can enter any email address I want. So let's say I want to send this to my doctor, which is Justin Marcagiani. And I can say latest ketone values and glucose. As soon as I hit send, Dr. Justin will get, or whomever you send it to, will get an invitation to download this file in an encrypted format. So it's just more secure than using plain old email. The last thing we'll cover is how to edit a ketone entry that you've made. So let's say I needed to edit that most recent entry. You can navigate to the My Data page and then go to Data Feeds. And this is where you can enter all the data you've entered manually. So I'm going to edit the most recent ketone entry. Let's say I made a mistake and perhaps it was actually 1.9, and maybe I need to add some additional notes and exercise, for example. And so any entry you want to edit, you can do so here, or you can just completely delete it. So you've got the dashboard for tracking ketones and seeing them next to all your other data points. You've got the analyzer for comparing and looking back over time. You've got the file tab for uploading and storing screenshots and sending secure messages. And so those are the tools available for tracking ketones. If you have any questions, shoot us an email, support@headsuphealth.com. Thank you.